Shalom family, it's your man Elijah. Thank you for joining me in Unsectarian Wisdom, and as usual, I'm a healthy, wise, strong, protected, celestial being that is loved by the Most High Creator. Let's go ahead and jump in, family. Family, it's been on my spirit as of recent to speak on and give more clarification on what is a God and who you are as gods. And if you take the time to listen to me, if you take the time to, once I'm done with this teaching, then I'm being honest with you, I'm kind of shooting from the hip here. I didn't feel like going into a whole deep lesson with this. Maybe I will more later, but I got some visuals for y'all as well. Not videos or nothing, but Bible verses. So just follow with me, because if you take the time to follow with me, family, and not necessarily take my word for it, like I always say, don't believe nothing I say. Please don't. You can lead your own self to hell. But take what I tell you and then go do your own studying. Meditate on it. Ask the Most High about it. You know? And if you truly listen to me and to the things I'm saying, know that right now I'm giving you a key. I'm giving you a key that will help you understand the Bible and the Word even deeper. I'm giving you a key to understand the secrets that were not and are still not told to you. So let's go ahead and just jump in, family. So, family, I want to start off by saying, I finished reading this book recently. Not today, not yesterday, but within the past week or so, I have finished. And what I gotta say, man, the Kybalion, family, this book right here, I like to say it confirms so many things for me. So many things that I've said in my teachings that, to be honest, I've said and haven't even read this book, but are in this book. And that's not to pat myself on the back to say I know everything. That's more for confirmation, especially for me, that I know the Spirit speaks to me, that I know the Spirit is teaching me through the work that I put in. As it says, faith without works is death. Through the work that I put in seeking the Most High, through prayer, meditation, through searching out through the Word, through studying, researching, that it hasn't been for naught. That more so than not lately, whenever I read a book, not saying I don't learn nothing, I learn something every day. But most of the time, when I read, it's really just confirmation on things that the Spirit has told me within myself as I've sat and meditated, walked, talked, and truly took time to think about things deeply and be quiet and let the Spirit minister to me and listen to that still quiet voice within me from the Most High that tells me things. That voice that the world told me is only my conscience. That's just you. Ain't nobody talking to you. But because I have faith and pushed through and kept listening to it and not just listening to it and just doing nothing about it or just following it blindly, but hearing that voice, listening to it, but then asking questions, but then studying, seeking out whatever thoughts are in my head, only to now to be proved right. Even if you don't see it, I see it myself, and that's good enough for me. But so family, this one of the first places this particular study or research took me was I had to look at the word good and my own bias behind that word. Because I always assume that when people say good, it automatically means that you're telling somebody, and I've said it on this channel many times where I've said, ain't nobody good. Only thing good is God. Or I assume good just means that you're a righteous, virtuous, moral person. But in reality, the word good, family, doesn't mean that at all. The word good is not synonymous with someone who is righteous, or someone who is kind, or someone who shows virtuous tendencies or has morals. That's not essentially what good means at all. And some of y'all already know this. And some of y'all probably like, oh, how is he not? Like I said, sometimes, like I said, there are certain things, family, because we've been taught, or because how they've been presented to us in life, that they become strongholds on us until the Most High opens up that understanding. Like for so long, I thought taking the Lord's name, or taking the Most High's name in vain, meant, not as of late, I've been past that for some months, years now probably, but I thought taking the Lord's name in vain meant saying like damn, or using it as a curse word or something like that, right? But in reality, it just means, it didn't hit me that it actually meant doing something with your flesh. Like for instance, you being a professional fighter, and you sit here and say, you know, or no, you being a drug dealer, or someone, or a landlord that's constantly kicking out people out of their homes, not because they're not paying bills, but because maybe you raising the prices, or a tax collector. Basically, you're doing some type of unrighteous business where you're thieving and stealing from people, or being dishonest. And then you know you're doing all these things to make money, and then through that money that you've gotten through your unrighteous business practices, you've bought nice houses, fancy cars, nice clothes, and all this, and then you sit here and say God gave this to me, or you say the Most High gave this to me. You say the Creator gave this to me and blessed me with it, and that's taking the Most High's name in vain, because you lying. The Most High didn't tell you to go mistreat people, didn't tell you to put poison into your neighborhood, drugs, and doing all this to hurt the people, just so you can get some money, so you can buy yourself a fancy car and buy this, while the same people that you misled are still out on the street, or their lives have been irrevocably changed. I know I'm probably saying that right, but nonetheless, your actions have caused people to suffer. And you think now the Most High has blessed you because you caused people to suffer? You taking the Most High's name in vain. How dare you sit there and say the Most High blessed you from your evil actions? That's that vanity, the vanity of the flesh. And in another note, remember how I always, family, you watch my videos where I've spoken many times about how we use this word church. And this is, because basically what we going on is, family, is especially those who truly want to use this key, who truly want to excel, to get a deeper understanding of the word. I'm basically teaching you right now the same concept as how I brought up many times, family. Matter of fact, in my teaching, which teaching did I bring it up that I show you guys? When I was talking about the hair. Don't touch my hair, right? I mean, get off my hair. And I showed you guys the different, and I showed you guys, what were, I think, yeah, we was Corinthians. I showed y'all Corinthians chapter, I showed y'all 1 Corinthians, chapter 11, verses 14 through 16 in the NIV, compared to it in the King James. And I showed you how the two verses did not coincide. Where one sat here and said that in the NIV, it sit here and says that this is the church's only tradition, and then the King James, which is before the NIV, came out before, sit here and says this is no tradition of ours. And in other words, I showed y'all, family, that the enemy has changed the words, that they subtly change it to warp the minds of the people, to keep them in slavery, to bend them towards their will. And unless you put the work in yourself, family, you'll be misled and fooled, sitting there following some man or woman in the pulpit, whoever, basically, like the word says, the blind leading the blind all the way to hell. We are in hell. But they want to keep you in hell, and they want to keep you in ignorance, right? So with that concept, that's the same thing in a way with When I tell you guys about the word church is not the original term. The original term is more closely related to the words assemble or assembly, right? Maybe congregation. Because when you look at the word church, matter of fact, let me bring this up real quick, family. When you bring up the word church, right? I'm going to show you on the screen. Where is it at? Did I bring it up? Dang it. I didn't, yeah, right here. Right? When you look at the word church, I hope y'all can see it. But when you look at the word church, right? What is it? A building used for public Christian worship. A church is a building, family. Right? A church is a building. So whenever you see that word church in the Bible, you think your mind or hear it in life, especially us who've been raised in Christian society or just inside, society at whole in general, right? Whenever you see the word church, what do you automatically think of? You think of a four-wall building that you pay rent on, where people go to sit down and listen to people read the Bible. You're not necessarily thinking about the people. Like I said, even though I said, yeah, people, like you think about people for a second in there reading the Bible or somebody reading it to them, but you're not necessarily really thinking about the people. You thinking mostly the church, it's the building, it's the organization, it's a religion. But if you replace that word with the true term, which is assembly, right? We go back. What is the word assembly, right? Assemble. Gather together in one place for a common purpose, right? Get together, gather, collect, meet, muster. Or that's the word assemble or assembly. A company of persons gathered for deliberate and legislation, worship, or entertainment. It doesn't say anything about it being in a building. And then we'll go to we'll go to it. I want to show you this. Hold on. Matthew chapter 18 verse 20, right? For where 2 or 3 gather in my name, there am I with them. Or my spirit will abide, as some people say, right? Or if you go back and actually pay attention to the teachings of Yahushua, or the teachings of Paul, Matthew, Mark, Peter, all of them, they weren't going around only teaching in synagogues. As a matter of fact, at first they might have started their ministries off in the synagogues, right? But for those who are, study avid readers and study of the scriptures, that eventually, they were banned by the Sadducees and Pharisees, by their modern day Christian religious systems, right? They were banned from the synagogues. They were banned from preaching in those buildings, right? So what did they do? They would go preach in the marketplaces. They would go preach in people's attics, preach in fields, preach next to rivers. They would minister and preach wherever the people were. Not in no building, outside, sometimes in a building, wherever. But wherever the people were, that's where they assembled and spoke with the word. Because where 2 or 3 come in the name of the Most High, the Spirit of the Most High will abide. And they didn't ask them people always for no tithe or something. I believe even Paul said, I don't ask you for nothing. But if the Spirit puts in you to give, hey, I'll take it. If you want to offer it because you want to tithe to the Spirit, because you're thankful for the word you just got, I'll take it. But even then, I'm not even asking for nothing. Paul said, I support myself with tents. I support myself by building tents. I don't need your money. But if you want to give money to me to support the assembly, to support this message, to support us when we are supporting our brothers and sisters who are in poverty, supporting our sisters who are widows and their children, or the children who are orphans, or to help us feed the sick, to help us feed the poor, or help us heal the sick with medicines or whatever it is we need, if we not just laying hands on. But you know what I'm saying, family? I hope I'm breaking that down right. So with that same process, what I'm saying, so if you switch every word for church in the Bible, if you switch the word church, every time you see the word church in the Bible, if you switch it with the word assembly, family, once again, it'll open your eyes to a new understanding of the word. It'll bring you closer to the truth. So you no longer have that picture of a 4-wall building. which is what it's not meant to be. The assembly is the body of Messiah, and not even in a literal body, but the legs, the arms, the feet is made of the assembly, the people. We are all the body. The body is just symbolic representation of the people. It's so with that said, that's the same thing we getting into right now when it comes to this word God. And I want you to replace this word God, family, with creator. The creator, the most high creator of the multiverse, the most high creator, the grand and the supreme engineer. The creator, family, is an engineer, essentially, who has created the universe. Family, you are God's. And if you don't believe me, I'm gonna go right here, right? Moses, right? Moses said it. Psalms chapter 82, verse 6. I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. Yes, Psalms is given unto David, or come from David, but David is only quoting Moses, speaking of what Moses said, who the word of the Most High was given to give unto the people. I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. Got one even better. The Jews answered him, saying, for a good work we do not stone you, but for blasphemy, and because you being a man make yourself God. Jesus, or Yahushua, answered them, it is not written in your law. No, Yahushua answered them, is it not written in your law? I said, you are gods. If he called them gods, to whom the word of God came, Moses, and the scriptures cannot be broken. Yahushua answered, is it not written in your law? I said, you are gods. Yahushua said, I did not come to destroy the commandments, but to fulfill. I did not come to destroy the commandments or the prophets, but to fulfill. This, hold on. So, and then once again, what I say about the word good, right? It says, the Jews asked him, saying, for a good work, we do not stone you. Good don't automatically, and look, some of y'all, like I said, already know, but for some of y'all who may be like me and were captive to that one definition in your head of good always automatically meaning that it always meaning or being referred to or being associated with righteous works or kindness or virtuous. That's not true. Good is just another word for being useful. Good, family, basically means, like I said, it doesn't mean, good does not mean that you are righteous or kind or virtuous or moral person. But it's more so, good is just in a sense that you are useful enough to be used to carry the Most High Creator's, to carry out the Most High Creator's desires, which is to experience life through your avatar by way of your spiritual biological connection with the Most High Creator. Good is just another way of saying that you are useful to the Most High Creator to carry out the plans of the Most High, the plans and desires of the Most High Creator, which is to be useful to the Most High Creator, to help the Most High Creator know what it is like to experience life within this matrix. Through your spiritual biological connection with the Most High Creator, not fleshly biological connection. I mean, similar to that, like the biological connection you have with your parents through your flesh, through matter, but your spirit, your soul comes from the Most High Creator. So that is your biological connection, your DNA connection with the Most High. When the word says made in the image of the Most High, it does not mean the flesh, because there are many different flesh forms that the Most High Creator made. But by your spirit is the image of the Most High, because your spirit is where your wisdom and knowledge come from. The wisdom and knowledge that those who do not have the spirit of the Most High do not have. So Going back to the screen. Good does not automatically mean righteous. Matter of fact, we come here, even though it says here, right, this is dictionary.com, the definition. There are some, it says similar to virtue and rights. Similar. It means similar, but similar does not mean that's what it means. Right here it says to be desired or approved of. A good quality of life. Having the qualities required for a particular role. Right? Or if you go down, for benefit, advantage, profit, gain. This is more so the meaning of good, family. Not because you are virtuous, and this is important. Because then this takes me to going back to the etymology of the word good and where it came from. As I was doing my research, and some of the earlier forms of this word was gu, good, goth, koda, kuda, huta, kata, gad, gouda, right? But the first being gu, well, not necessarily. Actually, the first is more so. Well, I'm not gonna say the first, but we'll get into that. But the first one you see right here where it says gu, right? That's gonna be the first form, and it means more so giver, life cycle, breast milk, semen, rain, sun rays, pituitary gland, pineal gland, milk, libation, sound, breath, hormones, food, all things, family, that are used in the creation of life to help make it through this life, to help experience this life. Things that are helped to do good work, not necessarily meaning virtuous, not necessarily meaning synonymous with righteous or kindness, but just in general. Family, I've said this before. Well, no, I'll put it like this. Everything comes from the Most High, family. Nothing is necessary. There's no such thing in reality is good or evil, because everything comes from the Most High. Because we are here to be tested. We are here to experience life. How can you know what is desirable or what true happiness is if you do not know what true sorrow is? Because if you are born in happiness, true happiness, and you only know happiness, you fall into that same state of mind that Lucifer and Eve fell in because of their choices, because they lived and had it good for so long. Or like I always use the example, a rich kid, someone born with a so-called silver spoon in their mouth, right? They don't know the struggles of someone growing up in poverty. So they go around sometimes hating life. Oh, I have life so bad because everything given to me, I'm so bored. I have no meaning, right? They complaining because they have all this money. And they're sitting there talking about, and it's not to say that just because you have money doesn't mean that you can't have sorrow. But it's a different type of sorrow. And in a way, too, it is selfish. Because as someone who hasn't had the wealth they have, and that person is constantly suffering, and that person is like, man, I only wish I had 1/10 of the money you have. And you sitting here complaining because your daddy told you you can't have this. Or your daddy says you can't be king. Or your daddy said this and that. You can't this. You know what you get what I'm saying, family? So you have this sense of entitlement. You didn't have it so good for so long that you no longer appreciate it. So you need to now experience what it is to live in poverty. So now when you go back to riches and wealth, you ain't gonna have no complaint, because you be like, I'm so blessed. I'm so happy to have these things. I could not have this. I could be struggling. But now I appreciate this garden. I appreciate not having to till the ground. I appreciate the peace and joy. Because what happens is, family, when we just living in happiness so long, it's like we get stagnant and we stop being appreciative of it. And we like, man, I just wish there was some drama. And this is all, look, this is all a part of the flesh, but it's all training, family. So once you go back home to the kingdom, you finally appreciate and have more understanding of what true peace is. Like the word says, I give you peace. But it's for you to accept that peace. I give you peace every day. But you have to understand and accept it. So we come here, family, to go through this probationary period so that when we go back home in the spiritual realm, we can truly finally appreciate that peace. The peace that we couldn't truly understand until we went through something, until we went through the struggles that we went down in the Avatar. So family, a God is basically, like I said, remember, what do they say? God is good, right? I'm trying to show you. God is good. This is where it all comes from. God is good just means, once again, like I told you, good meaning more so being useful for work. Being useful for the Most High to use to fulfill the Most High's purpose and desire of wanting to experience life in this matrix, in an avatar. Because remember, family, the Most High is everything, is the universe. And the only way for the Most High to experience something outside of the Most High, because we are in the mind, the imagination of the Most High. We are not real. We are all extensions of the Most High's spirit, that great fire, that great oversoul. We are all extensions of the Most High Creator. And we are the conduits that the Most High uses to experience this life in matter, living in these avatars made of matter, of flesh, in this matrix, in this fleshly realm. Otherwise, the Most High would not be able to experience this without us. And not to say the Most High needs me or you in particular, but the Most High needs the Most High's creation to do what the Most High intended for it to do, which is for the Most High to not be alone, to experience something, because the Most High is alone. We not real, family. And that's something we're going to have to accept. Now, but in accepting that, we become grateful eventually for this experience, because if it was not for the Most High creating this experience within the mind of the Most High, we wouldn't have anything else but darkness of just existing. So, family, you are a God. We are gods. Replace this. So, I said, there's a difference between God, which is us, and the Most High Creator. Family, let me break it down like this. So, you know how in the animal kingdom, right? Matter of fact, let me put it like this. First, let me start off like this. You know how with humans, right? You have so-called black man, so-called white man, so-called Hispanic, Latino, so-called Asian, so-called Persian, and whatever other so-called races, right? But what do all these so-called different races have in common? What does the so-called black man and white man and Hispanic man, Latino man, Asian man, Persian man, what is it said that we all have in common, regardless of the different names that we have from our respective nationalities, societies, right? And regardless of our color of skin, what do they all, what do people say? We all bleed red, we all breathe air, we all need food, we all love, we all hate, right? So who does these things, right? What do we all have in common? Human beings. Although we are all categorized as different races, essentially we are all human beings. Or take another aspect, animals, right? You got a cow, which is, you have a cow, you have a lion, you got an eagle, you got a lizard. And then let's go ahead and say whale, right? Or a dolphin. All these things, family, right? They're animals, are they not? But yet they are all, every animal that I just mentioned, especially coming from a biblical point of view, are all placed in different categories of animal. Like a lion is a beast, an eagle is a fowl, a cow is a domestic animal used for farming. I forget what's the word. It left my mind, family. I guess cattle. Yeah, it's meant as cattle. And then what a whale is in the fish class, right? But yet they are all under what? The same umbrella of being an animal. So now I'm going to take it like this. You got a human being. And I'm going to use some imaginary creatures too. You got a human, or who knows, they might not be imaginary. You got a human being. You got an elf. You got a dwarf. You got a Pleiadian. You got a gray. You got a reptilian. These are all different species. All different humanoid species. And matter of fact, let's go ahead and throw a lion in there. Let's throw a monkey in there. Let's throw a dog in there. Right? Let's throw a whale in there. Or orca. Let's throw a killer whale or orca in there, right? These are all different species. But you know what they all have in common, family? They are all gods. Listen to me. They are all gods. Now, remember how I tell you, family, how I use the term in other videos where I say there are people with souls or people without souls, or I use it like this. There are the NPCs, and then you've got which are non-playable characters. And then there are the people who are playable characters, or I call them higher AI forms. Higher AI form meaning that you have a soul. So, and some of you might be like, you said a lion has a soul, or no, you said a whale has a soul, a dog. Look, family, just like in the human species, we've specified, not every human has a soul. Some people are like Mr. Smith from the Matrix. They're just a part of the Matrix. They're just a part of the system. They're NPCs. They're just living off of instinct. They're here so we can experience certain things, whether they be enjoyable things or horrible things, negative things, right? Same thing with animals. I guarantee you, there are some animals who have souls. There are some animals who have souls because in a past life they were a human and they probably wanted to be an animal. That's not to say that every animal has a soul. So be careful once again how you treat animals, family. Because some of these animals aren't just NPCs. Some of these animals are literally souls that were once incarnated in people as well. And once again, this ain't me sitting here saying that you worship. Remember, there's a difference between gods. There are many gods. There's a difference between God and the Most High Creator of all things. The Creator, Most High Creator, omnipotent Creator of the universe. There are many gods, family. And matter of fact, if you don't believe me that there are many gods, hold on. Let me go back to, where is it at? Hold on. Okay. Then Moses said to God, indeed, when I come to the children of Israel and say to them, the God of your fathers has sent me to you. And they say to me, what is his name? What shall I say to them? And God said to Moses, I am who I am. Hold on. The God, okay. Okay, so anyway, yeah. Then Moses said to God, indeed, when I come to the children of Israel and say to them, the God of your fathers has sent me to you. And they say to me, what is his name? And what shall I say to them? And God said to Moses, I am who I am. I am, family, just as we're saying right now, I've told you, look, the Creator is everything. So that word, I am that I am, if you understand on a deeper level, the Creator is first off, once again, the Creator is neither man nor woman. The Creator has feminine and male aspects, yes. But these are aspects, not from the beginning. Male and female aspect did not automatically mean penis and vagina. They're just different aspects. Male and female are two different aspects of creation. So the Creator, the Most High Creator, is not man nor woman. But the Creator just is. I am that I am. That is just a statement of being. The Creator is saying, I am that I am. That's all I can tell you. I'm not man, I'm not woman, I'm not this or that. I just am, because I am everything. I am you. So this is what I need y'all to understand, family. Replace that word God with the Creator. And this even comes back to Yahushua. Family, when Yahushua said, and then also I thought I had brought it up, but it was but I think that was the difference of how they said it within. And matter of fact, because like there, I guess that was the NIV version where it says who is. Matter of fact, hold on, let me see if that. Let me change it. Let me see what it says in the NIV, because I like, so that way you can see a different translation of it. Bear with me for a second. Okay, so anyway, yeah. Well, I forget what verse I was looking at earlier where it said, where I think it was Yahushua or somebody talking to people, and they said there are many gods. They said, which God do you serve? Because there are many gods. Because we are gods. And there have been men in the flesh, family, whether they be kings who are deceitful or queens who have set themselves up to be gods above other gods. But here's the thing. They didn't tell the people under them, subjects, that they were gods as well. Because they wanted the people to be enslaved to them, to worship them. And the people are not going to worship you if they know that it's like, hey, hold on, homeboy. Hold on, homegirl. I'm a god too. Why I'm going to worship you when I have just as right to be up there as you? Who are you to make me go to war? Why don't you go to war and die? You supposed to be a god, right? But I'm a god too. So they don't tell people. They sit here. What they do, family, is they don't let you know that you are a god. They sit here and tell you they basically what they keep you small. Oh, I'm just a human. But don't get me wrong, family. You have to earn this title. You have to come to a state of understanding of being that you are. I can't just simply tell you are a god. Tell you that you are a god. You have to understand and know that you are God. The Most High Creator has to give you the true understanding. And you only get that through studying, through faith and works and prayer. Because if I just tell most people they're God and they really take it literally to the point, yes, they are gods. But if they take it without the wisdom, without the knowledge, without the work it takes to truly get the understanding, and the knowing and blessings that come with being a god, they'll take it and take it as, I can do what I want. I can destroy others. I can take life. I can go out here and act crazy because I'm a god and I can do what I want without going through the proper channels. As Yahushua said to John, when John said, you should be baptized in me. What did Yahushua say? We must do what is right. And Yahushua was top G. And even he said, look, I got to follow the rules. So what does that mean about me and you? Yahushua is my master. I claim Yahushua all day, every day. Yahushua is the example that I follow in serving the Most High. I mean, obviously, I'm nowhere near who Yahushua was. I'm not putting myself up there, Yahushua. I would never think. I hate that word, never. I'm not trying. I do not want to make myself out to someone to even try to compare myself to Yahushua. I'm just saying that Yahushua is my master. If my master goes through the proper channels and procedures, who am I to sit here and say I'm going to negate them? Who do I think I am? So, as a matter of fact, let me take you here to Isaiah chapter 66 verse 1. Thus saith the Lord, the heaven is my throne, and the earth is my footstool. Where's the house that ye build unto me? And where's the place of my rest? Look, family, the Most High is everything and is everything and everyone. The earth, he said, the earth is my footstool. In the firmament, right? Or heaven. Remember, if you watch my teaching, where I said connecting the dots, where I talked about Atlantis, family, and aliens and globes. Remember, I brought up showing y'all the definitions on Google dictionary and stuff, where heavens is actually another name for the firmament. Heavens is not space. Heavens is not necessarily the kingdom. Heaven is just another word for the firmament and the sky underneath the firmament. The blue sky. That is heaven. So he's saying that is his throne and that the earth is his footstool. So if that's the case, family, and this is in reference to David. And David, talking about David wanted to build the temple for the Most High, and the Most High was like, bro, what you sit here putting all this work trying to build this house for me, but what you think I'm really gonna live in a house made by the hands of man? The earth is my footstool. Heaven is my throne. You know how big I am? I'm everything. Did you think this little building that you putting together with the hands of man is gonna be sufficient enough for me? Maybe for you, a man in the flesh, but not for me. You being ignorant, my son. So understand what I'm saying, what's being explained to us, family. The Creator is everything. And we are used for the good of the Creator to experience life. But every single one of us is the Creator. And we have connection to the Creator through our souls. This is why I say the Creator is able to talk to each and every one of us if you are willing to put in the work, to hear that still, small, quiet voice within you. To understand the words of the Most High coming from within. This is why the word says you have to go within. The kingdom of heaven is within. Talking about your spirit. Yahushua said the kingdom of heaven is nigh. Yahushua was talking about you. The angel, not just angels. You are the angels, family. You are angels possessing these avatars to go through this experience of life. And your angel, who's a spiritual being, came from the oversoul, the great fire soul of the Most High Creator, the great spirit. You are just a spirit torn off of the Most High Creator and put into an avatar to experience life for the Most High. Family, I say this. When the Pharisees were talking to Yahushua, when Yahushua was on trial, for once again, those who are avid readers of the so-called New Testament, and you've gone through and read it, remember when Yahushua was on trial, and the Sadducees and Pharisees were asking him, said to him, I guess, how did they say it again? Are you saying that you are God, or you are God? And Yahushua was like, you the one said it. You just said I'm God. But in reality, Yahushua was saying too, which, like Yahushua said himself, does the scriptures not say ye are gods? In other words, Yahushua saying, yes, I am a God, but just as you are a God too. That was like basically them confirming what Yahushua's been saying, that ye are gods, like low key. Because when people, basically what I'm getting is, family, understand this. This is where people are confused. This is why I say you have to swap the word God with creator. When Yahushua says, when people say that Yahushua is God, they're right. But what they're forgetting is Yahushua told you that you are God as well. And that there's a difference between God and the creator. Yahushua is not the creator. Yahushua is a God just as you are God. Does the word not say, did Yahushua not say that you will do the things that I have done and even greater? That you have the power to heal as well and to feed the poor and to heal the sick? Because what? Ye are gods. In other words, you are gods or good. God is good. Good meaning to do the desires of the creator. Yahushua is not the creator of the universe, of the multiverse. Yahushua and the Most High Creator, family, And look, and on this part, look, you don't have to take my word for it, but take it, meditate on it. Get understanding. But Yahushua is not the Most High Creator in flesh. It's not specifically the Most High Creator. Because the Most High Creator, I'll put it like this, family. Especially those of you who read the Kabbalion. And I knew this before, but the Kabbalion just gave me more confirmation on it. If the Most High Creator, and matter of fact, there's parts of the Bible, like I say, there's parts of the Bible where it says, if you were truly in the presence of the Most High Creator, you would fall dead like that. Because you could not withstand the glory of the Most High. And just like I just read, where I tell you, like David was trying to build the temple, the Most High was like, Negro, do you not know that the earth is my footstool and the heavens are my throne? What you think? What you think your little building gonna do for me? If the Most High Creator was literally to withdraw the Most High Creator's entire essence within the body of Yahushua, family, none of us would be here right now. The Creator wouldn't even be able to experience life, because if the Most High Creator truly downloaded its essence into the body of Yahushua, family, there'd be nothing left to experience. Because we're in the mind of the Creator. The Creator is everything. So the Creator is the matrix. The Creator is this reality. So how could the Creator, if the Creator was going to experience, how could the Creator experience what it is to live with other people or other avatars, experience war, experience love and hate, if the Creator literally drew itself within one body? The Creator couldn't, because the Creator is literally everything. We are in the mind of the Creator. The Creator cannot do that, family. And let me not say cannot, but will not, because I don't want to take nothing. But in that situation, I need y'all to understand, I don't want to take disrespect. And this comes back to this. But Yahushua is the Creator, but isn't the Creator. Remember I told y'all earlier about how you are your parents through your DNA? You are your mother and father, because look how you look. How people say, oh, you look just like your mama. You look just like your daddy, because of the DNA, right? You made with both of them DNA coming. Remember, I also said your spirit comes from the Most High. The image of you, when the word says you are the image of the Most High, you're talking about spiritually. Your spirit. And because your spirit comes from the Most High, you could speak to the Most High yourself. This is why other teachers stress meditation, praying, seeking the Most High, reading, studying, so that you could train yourself to hear the small voice of the Most High within you in a spiritual, because your spirit comes from the Most High. You can hear your father, your mother in the heavens. You can hear the Creator if you take the time to learn to hear that voice, to separate it from your fleshly voice. That is how Yahushua was the Most High, because Yahushua is, like he says, does it not say that Yahushua is the Son? But Yahushua said also, ye are all God, you are all children of the Most High. Spiritually, because spiritually you are related to the Most High DNA. Biologically, through your spirit, you are related to the Most High. And it's also like this, for my people who, let's watch this, who are veterans, or police officers, past police officers, or just life in general. But I'll use from this. In the military, remember, you got generals, you got colonels, you got majors, captains, lieutenants, you got sergeants, which are NCOs that go down to the privates. And then over the military is what? The commander, whether it be prime minister, president, king, whatever, right? So the general answers to the president, the prime minister, the king. So the president, prime minister, king tells the general what to do. And remember, an army could be made up of 1 million people. There can only be one general. Or one head. I mean, there could be multiple generals, but usually there's only a few generals compared to the millions of soldiers. So there's millions of soldiers. There can literally only be 100 generals. And them 100 generals, there's not enough of them to go around to go speak to every one of these million soldiers. So what it is, they have a chain of command. So the general tells, so the king tells the general to do, the general tells the colonel to do, the colonel tells the major tells the captains and lieutenants, and the captains and lieutenants tell the NCOs what to do, and then NCOs tell the biggest majority of soldiers, which is the privates and specialists, what to do. So whenever the NCO tells a private or a specialist what to do, the privates and specialists do it and act on that order just as if the king was standing right in front of them, because they've been taught that whatever the NCOs tell them to do, they're doing it because the general told the officers, who in turn told the NCO to tell you guys what to do. So the message came all the way down from the king or the queen themselves or the presidents themselves to you, to the private. So you follow their orders like the king was standing right before you. That's how it works. So that's how it works with Yahushua. Because Yahushua was tapped into the spirit of the Most High within him. So whenever the Most High told Yahushua what to do, Yahushua was able to delineate that message to us. Vice versa, Yahushua, aka the Most High Creator, walking in flesh within Yahushua. Not literally as in the Most High Creator was possessing that body, like that was literally the Most High, the Creator, walking around in the body of Yahushua. No. Yahushua was like us, another aspect, another spirit taken from the Most High and put into an avatar body. But Yahushua was, once again, was more obedient than us. Yahushua was chosen for that work. Everything, remember that good. What is good? Good is another word for being used for the works of the Most High. And just like the Sadducees said to Yahushua, they was like, we're trying to stone you not for good work. Good work don't mean virtuous work, especially when it coming from their mouth. Because they wasn't doing good. So good is just works for the benefit of another. Yahushua was used for the good of the Most High Creator. In other words, the good works to be used by the Most High to get the message to us. And Yahushua was more, like I said, what's the word? Obedient, right? Obedience is greater than sacrifice. Because if Yahushua was the Most High Creator, why would he be in the New Testament as it goes? Before he was crucified, why would he then be in the Garden of Yosemite on his knees praying that this work would be taken away from him, that he wouldn't have to be put on the cross? Because if he was really the Most High Creator in flesh, he wouldn't have to ask nobody. He could just snap his finger and be like, yeah, I'm done playing this game. I ain't trying to let y'all put your hand. No. And then if he was really the Most High Creator in flesh, then why would he say, Father, why did you forsake me? This ain't taken from my king. Yahushua is my king. It's not what I'm saying. But I'm trying to give y'all understanding, right? Yahushua was being used by Yahushua was the mouthpiece of the Most High Creator, without a doubt. And one more thing, family, when you understand the difference between God and the Most High Creator, when you go back to even Genesis and you read about Adam walking in the garden with God, now you can understand, like people who are familiar with Billy Carson or certain scientists who sit here and they sit here and tell you back in the day that the Bible is actually talking about so-called aliens, or they go back to stories of the Anunnaki, or specifically Enki and Enlil. How do you know that Adam in the garden, when you understand that we are all God, even that means Pleiadians, that means reptilians, that means grays, dwarves, elves, lions, anything that has a soul, a higher soul from the Most High, is a God. An angel is a God. Or I want to be careful with that because they're spiritual form. But yeah, or the Elohim, the gods, right? So, but they are not the creator. So when it says that Adam was in the garden talking to God, he could have literally, if you do the studying, literally been walking with Enki or Enlil, talking to them. And then I know in Enki and Enlil it says that they made, that means, you trying to say we clones? Well, if you read the story, it says that Enki and Enlil took their DNA and inserted it into the species of creature that were on this earth. So technically, their DNA mixed with the creatures on this earth would give this avatar the correct ability or correct code, if I want to put it like that is necessary to attract and host the spirit or soul come from the Most High. Matter of fact, go back to my readings on the sealed portion, family. Our bodies were made specifically, not everybody on this earth was made specifically to house a soul. It's a certain code that was coded in each of our bodies by the Most High to be able to house a soul for the Most High. Otherwise, once again, go back to the sealed portion. If the body is not made specifically or the DNA made in a specific way to house a soul, the soul will destroy the body because the body won't be able to handle the energy of the soul. So the DNA, once again, we are all gods. Some gods, family, matter of fact, because I want to get this done because I want to be able to fit this in certain things. I want to read this. Now concerning spiritual gifts. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 12, 1 through 14. Now concerning spiritual gifts. Brethren, I do not want you to be ignorant. You know that you were Gentiles, carried away to these dumb idols, however you were led. Therefore, I make known to you that no one speaking by the Spirit of God calls Jesus a curse, and no one can say that Jesus is Lord except the Holy Spirit. There are diversities of gifts, but the same Spirit. There are differences of ministries, but the same Lord. And there are diversities of activities, but it is the same God who works all in all. But the manifestations of the Spirit is given to each one for the profit of all. For to one is given the word of wisdom through the Spirit, to another the word of knowledge through the same Spirit, to another faith by same Spirit, to another gifts of healing by the same Spirit, to another the working of miracles, to another prophecy, to another discerning of spirits, to another different kinds of tongues, to another interpretations of tongues. In other words, family, what this is saying is, like I was saying, like think about it back in the day. If Inky and Lil or whatever alien came to the earth and landed here, before whatever creatures were here were able to evolve to a higher level of understanding, if they were just throwing spears, they're going to assume, like in today's term, these are powerful beings. They must be God or the creator. When in reality, what they're not telling you is, no, you're gods just like us. We're just more advanced to you. We have more wisdom to you that we understand. But depending on these so-called gods depending on these gods and who they are, unless they're righteous, honest individuals, they might use you as slaves and lie to you because they don't want you. Because if you know that you are just as powerful as them, or that you are just as loved or favored by the Most High Creator as them, then they know they can't use you as slaves and that you'll fight against them. So basically what I'm saying is, fam, you see how it's talking about there's different gifts. Some, like for instance, you know how bears are really strong and lions and they can destroy us? But like I said, they're gods too. Not all, but ones who have souls. Or how it was saying that people have different gifts. Just because a Pleiadian has psychic abilities doesn't mean you are no less a god than them. Because they might have great psychic abilities to read people's minds, but you might have a greater power of emotional understanding, of emotional, what's that say? You don't have emotional, anyway, like for instance, take humans. One human is very strong and one is really smart. But yet you're both human. Same with gods. This human, this god can float, but this god can swim really fast. Even though this god can't float like this god in the air, this god can swim really fast. But that doesn't mean that they're both still not gods. They're both still gods because they're both creations of the Most High Creator. And this is what I need y'all to understand, family. We are all from the Creator, and there's a difference understand the difference between gods and the Most High Creator. You are not the Most High Creator. You are a God who can create, yes, in this matrix, in this physical realm, but you are not the universal creator, who we are all in the mind of, who has created this matrix. So remember, that was 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verses 1 through 14. I'll go back another time maybe and break it down. Go read it. We are all gods. We just have different gifts. Some gods, some avatars have greater powers than others. Some avatars could probably shoot light out of their hands and shoot lightning bolts. That don't mean they're the creator. That just means that's the power that the Most High gave their specific avatar, family. But that don't mean that they are better than you. We are all still children of the Most High before the Most High, regardless of what powers or gifts or talents the Most High has given us. But anyway, family, I want to end it here because, whatever, for later, and I'm trying to fit something. But I enjoyed you. I hope you enjoyed me. I hope I broke that down enough to you. Remember, family, replace the word from now on, God, with universal creator, with the creator of all things. And it's going to open up keys to you to understand, like I said, even going back to the garden. You'll be able to see things in a different light. Or Adam could have been literally talking to the Spirit with him in the garden. So he could have been talking to the Most High Creator. Like I said, there are different stories, different sides to it, right? So he could have either been talking to an alien, or he could have just he was meditating, talking to the Most High as he walked through the garden. But remember, the Most High Creator is everything. So without further ado, family, I'm a healthy, wise, strong, protect celestial being. Love you, family. I'll catch you later. Shalom.